In the next 5, 7, 8, 10 years, what is it that will interest you?
Well, I don't want to think of retirement because
No. We also don't
that
think
makes
of it.
me extremely scared because I don't know how I will react when I'm done with cricket.
Do you remember your first cricket bat?
Yes, I think I actually took, my dad played a bit of outdoor cricket, so I took his bat, and
Okay.
I can remember I couldn't even pick that thing up.
Who's the DJ of the team? Who handles the music?
Um, Usually it's Chloe, or it used to be Shibby
Okay.
as well.
So what do you make of India? You've been into India. So before I start with your history, how you played cricket and all, first I want to know how you've played in India so many times. Each time you come to India, it's like hard work packing bags, or is like, okay, I know I have to go for the grind, but it'll be different. How does it feel to you?
Yeah, look, it's always challenging because it's so extremely hot here.
Yeah.
But no, we enjoy it. I think that the thing I love the most is the passionate fans, like how they enjoy it. You saw yesterday, and there might be 10 in the crowd, but it feels like 500. So the fans is definitely a highlight for me. No, it's amazing to be a part of women's cricket now at this moment.
From 2009, I think you were a part of the World Cup team as well in 2009. I was also playing that time. I remember Shakti Ismail running in and bowling fast at that time. And from 2009 till, I won't even say till date, I'll just say like over the years, how massively it's changed. And it's changed for only like 3 or 4 years. Do you see that? I mean, from where you started to where you are today? Do you see that?
Yes, I'm a little bit jealous. If I look at some of the youngsters in our team, I wish I was 10 years younger now.
Correct.
But no, I think what actually makes it special is to have been a part of this journey for such a long time. Like, we started with no contracts. You literally played for the love of the game.
True.
And then the money started to come a little bit, but it was still amateur-like.
Just
And now the last 4 or 5 years, it's just taken off
Next
completely.
level.
Yeah, it's
If
ridiculous.
I can say, it's probably between yourself, Harmanpreet Kaur, the journey has been from the start. I think 2009 she made a debut for India in the ICC Cricket World Cup. You as well, in the similar sort of an era, and it's at an era where both of you are such game changers. Match winners. For you, especially in 2 skills. Now Harman is obviously coming back to her second skill. It's difficult to track back, but does you ever pinch yourself and say, what if I had not played? What if I missed this completely? Where we are today is different, but what if I was not a part of this journey?
Yeah, I remember when I started, I didn't even know there was international women's cricket, because I think back then it was mainly just India, Australia, England and New Zealand.
India's forever there.
Yeah, we didn't even know there was a national women's team. I'm just glad that the love of playing cricket took over, and I wasn't thinking too much of probably this sport going nowhere. And yeah, like you said, it just changed completely, and I am today playing cricket all over the world. It's an unbelievable journey.
And how did you start? How did you get into cricket? I know it's a family which supports. I know your father has been nets in the swimming in the morning, running in the evening. We've known of that journey, but how have you seen it?
No, I was a bit of a tomboy growing up, because my nephew stayed quite close to us, so he would come over a lot, and then the boys that lived in and around where we stayed, they would always play cricket in the streets, and I literally joined them, and for some reason never looked back. I still remember when my mother took me to the school principal. I think I was about 12 or 13 years old, and asked if I could join the boys cricket team at school. Back then, no females played cricket with the boys, so I was surprised that he said yes, I could join them, and from there on in, I never stopped playing cricket.
But becoming an all-rounder, I know that everyone talks about, now they don't analyze that much, but it's like Marizanne Kapp's action is so different, but where does she generate the pace? How does that pace come through and rattle the batters? How did you get into that all-rounder ability? I want to bat, because obviously you held the bat straight up. Now with cricket changing environment, skills keep getting altered, but how did you get into that all-rounder ability?
I think I initially started a bit with indoor cricket, and there you have to obviously bowl and bat, so you can't only pick one skill, which I'm very grateful for today, because I feel like, especially in the women's game, your all-rounders are almost becoming your big players. And that seems to be what all the leagues especially want. I feel like it's a massive asset if you can both
have more than one skill, basically.
Bat and bowl. And look, bowling has always been my number one skill, because I felt like it was something I could do by myself. So if there wasn't any coaches around, I could just bowl at the stumps for hours. And that's initially why I was more a bowling all-rounder all these years, because where women's cricket started, we didn't have coaches available, so it was people like me, Danai, Minxie, going to the nets, and you would throw your arms off for hours for the other one to bat. So that's why I feel like the batting side of things took a step back, because bowling I could do by myself. Where now we are blessed, you have all these coaches standing ready to throw balls at you, and the batting has gotten better.
I don't remember Ming's bowling though.
No, she was throwing, not bowling.
Because I remember every time I look back at Minx, when did you bowl? No. I said, Minx, slow down, it's okay. There's no rush.
She actually also played indoor cricket with me, and there she had to bowl. So she bowled a bit of pace there, but never really in outdoor cricket.
Do you remember your first cricket bat?
Yes, I think I actually took, my dad played a bit of outdoor cricket, so I took his bat, and I can remember I couldn't even pick that thing up.
Heavy.
Yeah, it was extremely heavy. So I tried to play around with that for a while, and then when my parents noticed that I'm really enjoying my cricket, they bought me my first cricket bat. But I think it was like those white ones, is it Kashmir Willow?
Kashmir Willow.
One of those.
We start with Kashmir Willow.
You would hit the ball and it will shock your hands, but no.
Will get that shock. Injuries are a part and parcel of a cricketer, but do you have any memories like, this was my first little niggle, or this is what my first struggle was, and I was trying to get back onto the field, and this is my memory, that it was easy or difficult? Do you have any of those?
I've actually been blessed. I've always had these small niggles, but nothing has really kept me off the park, especially for months on end. I remember way back when I played in that first test match against India.
2014, yes.
I couldn't bowl a lot because I had a shin injury, and that's something that, again, back then we weren't as blessed with women's cricket still being amateurs. We didn't have a team doctor, so I would literally take painkillers and bowl, and if the painkillers didn't kick in on time, I would cry before I had to go out and bowl. So I had little stuff like that, and then throughout the years the back has always been an issue, but I've managed it. So yeah, I've been, I think.
Do you also, when you travel abroad, because every mattress, every room is different, do you also go and sleep on the floor? And
I struggle with bed. As soon as it's too soft, it absolutely breaks my bed. I won't sleep on the floor, but every now and then if I'm in my room for too long, I'll sit on the floor, just to not be on the soft bed.
Yes. A lot of us, in fact, when we started touring abroad, the beds used to be that soft, and then one guy advised is like, just take that mattress and sleep on the floor. It's not like go and sleep on the floor. That mattress, just put it on the floor and sleep, or maybe cotton mattresses, or just ask the hotel staff to make sure that your bed is on the floor. So that will make a massive difference. And a lot of international players do that. Indian players, I know, men or women, I'm not sure.
I think I'll try it out next time.
Yeah, so the mattress actually goes down on the floor and you sleep on the floor. It's not that you're sleeping on the floor. You're not sleeping on the floor. It's like the mattress is on the floor because of the spring mattress. But yes, absolutely. The kind of travel we do, the kind of travel as players we used to do, and it's only increasing. Physios need to increase also. The number of players that are going. How many physios usually travel now?
No, we actually have one, and then we have a lovely lady that's touring with us, so she does the massages. But yeah, look, I think for the first probably 8 years of my career, we traveled economy, and you arrived in the new country like probably 3-4 days before
Later.
you had to play. There was no massages, all these things.
And you have to tape your finger yourself in case you get hit.
There's a massive change. And look, like I said, I'm jealous because I wish I was younger, but I'm blessed to have all of this now, especially at my age. I need all of that. I'll probably need my own physio.
No, exactly. You need somebody like you. People travel with chefs, we will travel with physios. But now let me also ask you about the toughest question, because I know that will be a very tough one. You've been into finals, World Cup finals, you've been into WPL finals, and the line hasn't been crossed. Not easy, not an easy pill to swallow. But if I can separate the two, World Cup semi-final, World Cup final 2017, 2023, you've been there. What is it that one thing, and I asked this to myself and I asked this to an Indian team as well, but of course it's always nice to hear a new perspective. What is it that you feel just missed the bus in crossing over the line?
I think sometimes, because we've not been there a lot, especially in international cricket, I think a lot of times we just lack that belief, because you'll have the teams in a tricky situation or where they are uncomfortable, and then it's like you just give it to them on a silver platter. So I think it's the unknown of not having been there a lot. But that's where the leagues come in, because I feel like that gives you confidence that you know, yes, I understand nothing is as big as a World Cup final, international cricket, but those leagues and the finals you play in those leagues, it gives you a bit of confidence to kind of almost know what to expect going into those finals. So yeah, I would say it's just the big occasion. For me now, I'm a lot more comfortable playing in those finals because I've done it so many times. But I know the youngsters, even with the crowds back home now, the T20 World Cup we had, they were so nervous. Even someone like Aya, who's played so many international games, but if you're not used to a final and all the people, you know, everyone's watching, it is nerve-wracking.
What about WPL? And I say this again because WPL in season 1, WPL in season 2. The opposition changed, but the runners-up remained the same. And I remember crossing over, and I saw you as well after the final, and like, what just happened? And I spoke to a couple of the younger players. It's like they were all in anger that they missed the opportunity. But I'm sure there is something more when you would have sat back and thought through the opposition, whether it was RCB or it was MI, and the season going forward when you prepare for the next season. You can't be carrying those same things around. Did you ever get a chance to talk to those players? Doesn't matter, it's just another game of cricket, let's move on. Or these are the things we must eliminate into the next season?
I think, look, we were proud to have reached the final the way we did the last 2 years. But I think having failed twice now, we probably will next WP. I'll sit down and discuss, listen, this is what we're going to do if this happens again. But no, I feel like we were probably a little bit unlucky in the sense of I felt like we rely a lot on me to strike in the power play, and both those finals I didn't. But I also feel like it was those type of wickets that didn't suit my bowling as well as it did the other. Because they were both very slow, or a lot slower than the wickets we actually played on previously, and that almost eliminates me a little bit, so it doesn't make me as dangerous as I would have been at the other venues. And then again, like even our batters, we like striking the ball. Now we get on these lower, slower wickets. And I just feel like we probably in the two finals, where if you look at how little I've batted in both competitions, and then being in that's probably the earliest I've been in both the finals. So that makes a big difference, especially if we've been doing so well and a lot of your lineup has not been out in the middle. And now in the final, you find yourself on a slow wicket, it's turning, and you're in a lot earlier.
One thing I always wanted to ask, I know it's not in your control. Have you ever been offered captaincy?
No.
Never?
No.
Not even a club game? Not even a provincial side to lead?
No. I think people has always seen me as a hard head on the field. Well, and even I always say that people judge you for the way you are on the field, and it's not always fair, because
Yes.
you are passionate about your cricket and what you do out there, and you want to do well. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why I've never been offered anything like that. But no, look, I know I'm a leader. I love helping my teammates, especially while I'm batting. I feel like if I give them some, that's why I enjoy batting with the tail as well, because I feel like if I explain to them what to do or give them options, it takes pressure off of me.
So we'll make the atmosphere a bit lighter, because I want to throw you a few rapid fire questions. Very simple, generic, which you know about. Do you have a superstition? Do you walk in thinking, I must put my right pad on or the left glove on, or take my bat in the right hand? Is there a process? Is there a ritual that you follow?
In general, I'm someone that I have a system, and I like to do things the same way. So, like, generally I don't hit balls like the day before a game, because I know if I hit one not out of the middle, I'm going to be upset with myself, and then tomorrow I'm going into the game upset. So I'm just someone that I like to do things the same way, and my routines are extremely important. So if you want to mess with my head, you change the warm-up completely, things like that. I don't like it.
No, I know where it's coming from, and it's absolutely fair. So we don't put this out in superstition, it's like just process. I know we've stayed in rooms where we've shared accommodation. Now, of course, we have single rooms, but if there was a teammate which you had an option to pick, who would that be to be a roommate or teammate?
That's a tough one. Probably the person who's quiet and who's gonna speak less than some of the rest. Probably maybe someone like Aya.
Aya. Ah. You have to call out, is there anyone in the room? Hello? What's been the most inspiring or memorable fan encounter moment for you? People have run up to you and said, Marizanne, you are a star. Wow. Has there been a moment?
Yeah, I've had a few younger girls who said they took up cricket because of me, or they were about to stop playing the sport and they just love my passion and the way I play the game. Yeah, it'd probably be something like that.
Nice. What's the most memorable post-game celebration that you've been a part of? Of course, it must be a winning one. Winning the World Cup semi-final, 23, or even a club game, any.
I think it was probably, 2020 we toured New Zealand, and we beat them 3-0 in the ODIs in New Zealand. It was our first tour there ever. And I just remember the team and the squad, along with management, just going out, sitting on the field, having a good time, playing music. Some of the girls were dancing and laughing. Yeah, that was probably one of the highlights for me.
Who's the DJ of the team? Who handles the music?
Usually it's Chloe, or it used to be Shibby as well.
Mm-hmm. Now it's the younger one, or Chloe, because Chloe's come back?
Dirksen for now.
For now. The best cricket ground, because of course you've played in most of the cricket grounds all over the world. So is there one cricket ground that's like, oh, matches here, is my favorite?
Yes, it's a tough one. I loved playing at the SCG in Australia, but to be honest, the Oval in England, yeah, just the atmosphere and the crowds you get in there. It's very nice to bat there.
People will be very happy you said that. Okay, it's identified. A childhood memory about cricket that you hold very close to you. It's one of those dear moments. Any childhood memory, especially growing up, playing the sport, or not even playing the sport?
I think it was probably when I went to watch my first provincial men's cricket game at St George's Park in Port Elizabeth. I know that's also one of the oldest
very nice ground,
stadiums in South Africa. Yeah, that'll be my top memory.
Okay. If not cricket, would you have played a sport or doing something else?
Yeah, definitely. I think it would have always been sport.
Which game?
I'm not too sure, because I did a few things when I was younger, so I'm not too sure which sport, but yeah, I can't see myself having a normal job sitting behind a desk though.
Marizanne Kapp has probably done a lot of things in the last few years, achieved a lot of success as well. In the next 5, 7, 8, 10 years, what is it that you possibly think would be associated with the game? In which manner, if you want to be associated, that is? And what is it that will interest you?
Well, I don't want to think of retirement because
no, we also don't
that makes me extremely scared because I don't know how I will react when I'm done with cricket. But I think for me, I'll definitely stay within the women's game. I just absolutely love cricket and being involved in cricket, women's cricket specifically. So yeah, I can't see myself going anywhere apart from being involved in women's cricket.
When we speak about being nice on the field, it's like, oh, this is now or never. Now, since you've been a part of such occasions where you haven't been able to cross the line as a player or as a teammate, do you always go back and say, look, this is the moment which we have to seize, so you have to give it all, whether it's losing a semi-final or losing a final? Does that talk ever come back again? Then no, it's essential. What happens the next day is next day. What happens today is important.
Yeah, I think it's important. You have to speak about situations, or if you realize in a match situation, listen, we have to do something now. Like, I find it very difficult to just stand there and do nothing or say nothing. It's extremely hard, and I think also because I always bowl and bat, I'm involved in the game the whole time. I feel like I just can't stand out there and watch everything fall apart in front of me. So I feel like I have to say something.
And when you see these teammates of yours, you've been a part in England in a franchise cricket tournament, in Australia, you've been teammates, now they're competitors. How does it feel when you interact with them? They know me, I know them. How does it feel? Because it's very new to women's game now.
Yeah, for me, nothing really changes. I think even though nowadays you play with all these teammates in all the leagues, there's video, so it's not like people don't know you. The women's game have grown so much that the analysis that's going on, so you cannot hide anything. So I think when we face each other off the field, I mean, we get along, but on the field, you are my enemy. I'm gonna try and get you out, or I'm gonna try and eat you. You just play the game, you don't play the player.
So now I've said that Marizanne Kapp is one of the best, topmost all-rounders in world cricket, and I've literally drilled this opinion of mine into the world, and I've always believed in that as well, which of course you know. But what next for Marizanne Kapp? Personal goal, personal milestone, then team goal, team milestone. What is next for you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably in the prime of my career now, so honestly, I just want to enjoy the next 3 or 4 years, whichever I have left. Hopefully play it as an all-rounder. Really need my bowling as well. You don't feel complete if you just do one skill. Just want to be the best I can be. I've always said that's the way I've lived. Like, I can't see myself doing something if I don't want to be the best at it. That's how I play my cricket. I want to be the best. So for me personally, just enjoy my cricket, perform at my best, and then ultimately that will help my team win more games. And every cricketer wants to win a World Cup. So.
Every cricketer wants to win a World Cup. Ask us who haven't crossed the line. We know it as well. I've been into a dressing room which hasn't crossed the line. I've watched it. And of course, I know about South Africa as well. But it's such a pleasure talking to you because, Marizanne, I mean, I've known you over the past so many years, but I've always seen you get better and better. And each time you hit the ball outside the park, like, wow, bowlers, beware. Marizanne is up for this contest, and you're always up for this contest. We wish the best of the best for you in whichever team you play for. And happy to know that you always want to come back to the cricket ground. So we won't miss you too much. We'll always have your company. and the younger generation will know what it is to be an all-rounder.
No, thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure, and all the very best. And we'll see. We'll keep we'll keep following you with all your exploits around the world.
Thank you.
All the very best.
Thank
Cheers.
you.